that we are heading toward the end of the semester, and uh, people start to talk about the final exam, this stuff. I just checked the schedule, the school schedule. I don't know you guys have the schedule. Did, um, do you have do students receive school schedule? Mail. Um, okay, I do receive. Um, if I understand correct, um, uh, um, that our class stopped at January 9th. January 9th. So including this week, we have 5 weeks for me to teach. We have 5 weeks for me to teach. We stop at January 9th. Stop at January 9th. So we have 5 weeks um, to go. That um, okay. So after that, then when we set up the exam date, which is not up to me, it's up to the university. And this semester, the tricky part is for online students. How to manage a final exam for online students, which I have no idea. It's not related with your guys. Kind of related, a little bit related. Why? Because their score, if their score is low, then you look good. If they score high, you look bad. But we try to come up a wise way to do it. Okay, that's the stuff. So the plan is we will finish chapter 21st and chapter 22nd. Chapter 22nd is a p-value. Chapter 22nd, not for today's teaching, is a p-value. And this is a kind of the most important topic in statistics. Most important topic in statistics. In a job interview, if on your resume you are saying you know statistics, I guarantee they will check, they will challenge you if you understand the p-value or not. I can tell you a little bit about why the p-value is important. For example, we are talking about the medicine for COVID-19. Medicine for COVID-19. And some people say this medicine is effective. And some people say, no. He say is effective because he owns that company. He owns that company. That is not effective at all. And so this is the p-value. Like I said, a true story, medicine that tested in China is not effective, but that tested by US, by European, and the same medicine is found effective. Is found effective. They are talking about the p-value. And in the news conference, in the US news conference, the Dr. Fauci, the head, the scientist in charge of this COVID-19, he reports the p-value is so and so. He reports the p-value is so and so, and saying that is effective. And saying that is, so this is very important. This is very important. I have to wear this because just to let you guys know, you guys should be careful. The virus is coming back. The virus is coming back in China. In Chengdu, not far from here. Right. Some streets is already closed. Some streets is already closed because they found some patients be positive. But it's already too late. Those patients has been many places in Chengdu. And in Hong Kong, you need to do 20. In Hong Kong, many people are escaping Hong Kong, and they are escaping to China, because in Hong Kong, again, epidemic is pandemic. Yeah. I will not be too surprised. Kunming will be found to be positive. Because Chengdu and Kunming, the people between the two cities are very, and particularly the culture, the history, the two cities are very binding together. I hope, I'm crossing the fingers, the vaccine is coming out. The vaccine is coming out. Okay, confidence interval. Back to this story. The vaccine coming out, and they found the US, the vaccine, they found is 95% be good. This is today's topic. This is today's topic. What does this mean? What does this mean? There are two scenarios in statistics. We said these again, two scenarios. One is yes or no. Yes or no is a binary situation. It's a binary situation. Like this, the vaccine, if you inject the vaccine, is that effective or is not effective? Okay, and I used many times. Are you voting for Republican or not voting for Republican? Yes or no? And another one is just as a number. okay? Just the number, like the exam score, the average, the height, the salary, these stuff. We have to separate the two cases because there are two different scenarios, and the formula for the two are different. The calculation formula for the we will get to here today. Today we will I hope we finish this finally, yes or no. So how do they find the vaccine? One company in US, there are two kinds of vaccine are rolling out. Two kinds of vaccine from two different pharmaceutical companies. From two different pharmaceutical companies. The Pfizer is a very big pharmaceutical company, and there's another company, a little bit smaller. This is a true story. This is a true story. Pfizer. Many people wish to find a job in this company. It's a very big company, very good company, very good company. This I never heard of this company. Anyway, they are. I think they are the first to announce the vaccine. And when did they announce this vaccine? Is one day after the US election. They say our vaccine is 90%. And this is a side story. And a couple of days later, this company announced, they say our vaccines are coming out too. And our vaccine is 95% effective. This is effective. Just a side story that why they choose the day after the US election is very tricky. Because they definitely have the result be ready to announce. They announce it after the US election because this is a very good news. They do not want to announce the good news. They want the Trump to go down. Because people are mad at Trump because the COVID-19. If they announce it one day before, and the people were excited to say, okay, let him do it 4 more years, so the Trump will be elected. They hold this news, they don't announce it after people were mad and they voted, then they announced it. They wanted the Trump to go to this company. Apparently, they are doing this against Trump. If they announce it earlier, then good for Trump. Anyway, so 90% effective. This one is even is coming out. Right now, is coming out. Is the first for the people working in hospital right now, and that in January, in February, and so on, so will gradually to the public. So here is the story. What is it? How do they get this 90%? What does this mean? What does this mean? So this means says if 100 people get injected the vaccine, the 90 people will have immunity against the COVID-19 virus, right? Right? But how do they get this number? Did they really get a volunteer 100 people? And they injected 100 people, and 90 of them get the immunity? So they say it's 90%. Is that right? So, okay, you got one. Now if the same company, another group, get another 100 people, and injected the 100 people volunteer, does that mean the 90 exactly same? This group, the 90 people out of 100 gets the immunity. The another group, 100 volunteer, gets injected. Exactly 90 people get immunity? Really? If a coin, I know if I throw a coin, it's a 50%. You know, a coin, if this is a coin, I know a coin is a 50% head. If I throw it 100 times, do I really get a 50 times? Do I really get a 50 times head? Maybe not. Maybe it's a 53. Right? Then if I do another 100 times, do I get a 53? Do I get a 50? No? Maybe it's a 46. What's going on? Okay. Then how do I announce? How do I announce my coin? How do I announce my coin? If I do not know, I do not know. For 100 at a time, I got a 53. For another 100 at a time, I got a 46. For another 100 at a time, 16. Who knows? How do I announce to the news? Say this coin is so and so. How the pharmaceutical companies get the 90% is today's topic. Is a confidence interval. Okay, open to the chapter 21st. Yes.
I'm going to outside for 10 minutes.
Your father called you?
I'm coming within 10 minutes.
Tell your father, don't do this next time, okay? Chapter 21, page number 456. But I want you go to this page. I want you to go to this page 463. 463. It's somewhere, it's internal inside. I do it here too. Too bad they cannot see this. Okay, and um, look at this, look at this, the book. So, SRS, what is SRS? Yes, simple random sampling. So they are doing some test to the public. Maybe it's the presidential election, maybe it's the vaccine, anything. Is some kind of yes or no? Is some kind of yes or no, okay? So they got the one group is a 2,166 people. Randomly select 2,166 people, and they tested. Maybe it's some kind of drug, or maybe it's some political opinion. So it's 12.9%. 12.9% said yes, okay? And today I'm teaching you is the plus minus this part. I'm teaching you plus minus this part. And they repeat this again. If you repeat, you have to do the same size. Have to do the same size, okay? So for the second time, second repetition is another 2,166 people out of the public. And this time is 11.9% said yes or something good, okay? And if you repeat the third time, you get this. 13.5. So we want to find out what's the true percentage. We don't care this old one. We want to know all these people really the true percentage. This is our goal. We want to know the true percentage. We don't care too much on these 100 people, how much of them get the big immunity. We want to know this drug to the whole world. To the whole world. So here is the confidence interval. Says the true number is in the ghost. Nobody knows. The true number is in the ghost. Nobody knows, right? Who knows this vaccine to the whole world? We only know the group of volunteers. We only know how good this vaccine to this group volunteer, to this group volunteer, to this group volunteer. But we do not know this vaccine to the whole world. So let's say, so this is the first group. And this is the second group. This is another group, plus minus. For each sample, this is called p hat. Is the sample, the proportion. The proportion in this sample, okay? You can call it P1. The proportion to this sample, you can call it P2 hat. The proportion to this sample, you can call it P3 hat. Or these, We are doing all this in order to find out this big P. We want to find out to the public. This is like a ghost. Nobody knows. So how do we get from here to here? Here is the formula. Okay? So the theory is such. This one is this mysterious one. We cannot give out the exact value of this one, but we know this one is plus minus the standard deviation. The z-score times the standard deviation. Standard deviation. This is the big formula. I will teach you how to calculate this number. But the important thing you should know, this one, the mysterious one, is this could use anything. You could use this group here, or you could use this group here. It's like even though I do not know here, but I know it's somewhere between here to here. If me is a P1 hat, is a sample, that's a hat, means it's a sample, okay? This without hat means there for the whole population. For the whole population. Mathematician, by looking at it, it knows you are talking about a sample. By looking at that without talking about the population. So for the first, okay. For the first one, we get this P1 is a 12.9 is here. But what's the P? What's the P? For the second time, we got 11.9. So what's the P? For the third time is 13.5%. So again, what's the P? What is the whole public? The story is this one is in this range. It's in this range. We do not know the exact value, but we can tell a range. It's from here to here. This is why we have the error. The term that is for error. This plus minus this plus minus this, even though they look different, however, the true one is definitely in this range, and not definitely, 95% of time. It depending on this z. It depending on this z, okay? So most of time, I say, to let me tell the story easily. This one is in this range. This plus minus is also in this range. Is also in this range. So, like this, we cannot say this is wrong. We are honestly throwing 100 times got 53. We are honestly throwing this time at 46. We cannot say this wrong. All these are honest, good numbers. Not just because this is a 60, then we say this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right. They all are right. They all are right. When we did this, when we have this plus minus, the 50 will be in this range. The 50 will, even though we do not know, let's say we do not know this. We do not, but it's in this range, plus minus. In this range, plus 46 plus minus, blah, blah, blah. 60 plus minus, blah, blah, blah. Here is a little bit misleading. Here is a little bit misleading. It will give people, maybe give you the false impression that the company knows this P. The company knows this P, and it is 90%. That is not the case. That is not the case. Nobody knows this P. Nobody knows this P. And this is a news reporter who doesn't know statistics, and they give people the impression that the P is already known. They know this, and it's 90%. How do you know? If you inject the 90 million people, if you inject 100 million people, does that mean the 90 million people are good? Nobody knows. Maybe, I guess not. I guess not. Statistics is a range. Is a range. And the formula, this is my handwriting. This is my handwriting. But if you want to look at the board, it's already here. But the really is, where is the formula? This is the formula. This is the formula. They want to study the college students in California do the binge drinking. Binge drinking. Do you know what is a binge drinking? Or it's good you do not know. It's even better you never do it. The college students, the binge drinking is they drink crazy, gets drunk. Some Chinese students on this campus do. The other day I still saw it, he was drunk and lying on the ground. Though they were lying on the street. Never try it, never do it. So they want to study what percentage students do it. In California, California is a big state. How can we find out? How can we find out this, yes or no? So they asked these 2,166 students. Okay? The volunteer. So, sir, have you ever done binge drinking? And some say yes. Okay. And some say no, I never do it. Why not pointing? So, from this randomness, I hope is a randomness. If you are asking these students inside a form, then that's not a random selected sample. That's not a random selected, right? If you ask these students inside the library, that is not a random selected sample. You should be fair. You should be fair, okay? Randomly selected. And 279 said yes, I have done it. Okay, 279 out of these, why you are laughing? Huh? So these are real numbers, these are real data, okay? Simple random sampling. Okay? This selected these many students in California, and 279 said yes. But we want to find out the whole public, whole students in California. Okay? For this is a p-hat. Is here, but the online students cannot see the computer screen. And besides, so I write one more time. So the proportion is 12.9%. After I finish this example, we take a break, okay? It will be done in a minute. So we find out this is a 12.9% out of this. Then, again, what's this? What's this? This, according to the formula, is nearby in this number. I don't know, is it just very close to this number, or is a little bit far away, or maybe it's greater, slightly greater than this. But I know the range, the error, this part called error, plus minus, okay, plus minus is in this error. Then how to find the standard deviation? How to find the standard deviation is standard deviation. The variance, just the variance symbol is this, okay? Variance symbol. That is this variance and the standard deviation is the early part of our class. You need to review, you need to statistics, absolutely you should know, not just the mean And you should know the variance and the standard deviation. We only have one number. We only have one number. And the formula is this. The formula is this. This is a big, big important. So it's a p hat times 1 minus p hat divided by the, what is n? What is n? What is n? In statistics, n is always a sample size. Is always a sample size. Our sample size is this, 2001. As you can tell, if n is large, this will be small. This will be small. If n is large, this will be small. Do you see it? This is why usually we always prefer a large population. We always prefer a large population. Okay? But many times, due to the limitation, not many people want to be volunteer. Even for the vaccine, I don't think that 2,000 people be volunteer because it's too scary. Oh, no, I don't want to do it. So, in the real world, this may not be very large. This may not be very large. For these 2,000 people to me, I consider is a large sample. 2,000 volunteers, I consider is a large sample. In a biology lab, they want to do experiments. They want to do every experiment, they get a number. If you want them to repeat 2,000 times, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. And they will kill them. Yeah. Anyway, this is the formula. Now, do you know how to follow this formula? Do you know? You plug in for this example, you plug in this number here, plug in this number here, divided by this. For this example, okay, so is now do you see it? And use your calculator. Get I don't know it. They just the book just directly. Okay, we'll take a break now here. After that we drive this home. We drive this home. Okay.